What's up, everybody? It's the Fulcon here. Here to talk about the new Smite update, which is, they're calling it Season 2 of Smite. I'm not exactly sure when Season 1 started, but I guess that's the Smite we all knew and loved. And they did a lot of changes. They designed, you can check out on their Hi-Res's channel all the updates that happened. Which is a good amount. They did a lot of buffing and debuffing of gods. They redesigned the conquest map entirely to look differently. They redid some geometry inside, like the Gold Fury Fire Giant areas and the Phoenix areas and some of the buff areas. And they replaced the mana buff on the duo side with a attack speed buff. So, a lot of different changes. Also, they came out with some new items and really knocked down a lot of the other items. A lot of the starter items have been knocked down a bit in terms of effectiveness or usefulness, like Death's Toll lost some of the mana regeneration and stuff like that. So, I'm just here to talk about my impression after playing, only one game of the Conquest. I know it's not a lot, but the reason for that is, like a lot of games these days, it was not ready for launch when it launched. I updated and everything, and that didn't take too long or anything. It took like 20 minutes. I went to the bathroom, came back, and it was actually already pretty much almost done updating. So that was cool. It was a faster update. That was nice. So immediately I got in. The format, the design, the layout of the homepage is different. So navigating that, got used to that. I mean, I like when things stay the same, but I can get used to change. So that's different. That's not really a bad thing. And then I, went to the Conquest mode. I hit play, and after 30 seconds, it was like, okay, accept. Let's do this. So I accepted, and we got into the thing, and it was counting down, and when it got to like 7, it just froze. Everyone had picked their gods and stuff, and all of us but one were locked in or something like that, and it just froze. And some people are like, oh no, not this again, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And they're like, this is called End of Days or something like that. That's their nickname for it. And basically the system just freezes, and it's when someone doesn't pick a god or something, and it just stays at that. And it messes with other things too, and so you're like stuck on the start screen, the pick the god selection screen, and for like a couple minutes, and then it started counting down again, and then it just kicked us all out and restarted the search. And then when it found one, it wouldn't let me hit the accept button. Like, I hit accept, and it just froze. And I was like, okay, so this is great. So I exited out, came back in, and then I was a deserter, of course, because when you do that, you consider a deserter. It was only for like 2 minutes, so that wasn't too bad. But actually, it was only for like a minute. I didn't even realize what it was, because it didn't tell me that I was a deserter. It just wouldn't let me hit the play button, which was kind of annoying. So that was dumb. And then it took me another half an hour to find a new match. Like, I'd hit play, and either the same type of thing would happen where it wouldn't let me hit the accept button, or it would take 5-7 minutes at a time to search for a match. So again, very, very annoying, and they really should have had this ready for launch day without these bugs and glitches in the system. It was kind of disappointing. Other than that, you have to be more careful with your mana when you're on the dual lane, because you do not have that mana buff. I played a support role, freaking owned as Ymir. So I mean, that wasn't too bad. They debuffed some of the gods so that like the hunters can't just clear waves of enemies, so you could notice that. I was paired with an Anhur, and his spear couldn't really destroy through lines of minions easily, and it took us a while to get a kill. but the hunters definitely also have base stats have been increased, and you could tell that because normal attacks were doing a lot more damage. So I would freeze someone, and even like it was Ares and Uller in the dual lane against us, and so I would freeze them, and Anhur would be able to get a double kill with his ultimate, and then just a couple basic attacks. And so his attacks have gone hunters have gone significantly up. That's cool. Also, the items are different. You don't start with the Watcher's Gift, as I don't really pick my own. I just let the auto item, because it takes a while to figure out a build and make your own build. I just let the auto take care of it. It usually does a really good job, and it's one of the better options. So that was it did do a good job of that. You don't get you build your boots first after you get your starter, which was something that was not Watcher's Gift. I forget what it was called, and it gave me like physical protection, magical protection, and health, and then it had a passive of like decreasing damage penetration. So it was more of a defensive item, where Watcher's Gift got you XP and gold, and so without that, I wasn't really getting as much XP or gold, and I had to be in the fight. But at the same time, I didn't have enough mana to really sustain taking out waves of minions. So I was from like levels 2 to 4 or 5. I really had no mana, and I was very using it sparsely, kind of staying back, but I wasn't getting all that XP that I needed. So it's just, you have to be careful of your mana now more than ever, and just kind of when you're playing support or a hunter, and the attack speed is up for the hunter, which is nice. Or the attack speed buff is there, so you get that for the hunter, which is nice. It actually does really make a difference. I noticed when I was attacking a tower, I was able to. It does some damage too. Was able to get a lot of that down. Also, some other items that allowed buffs for the rest of my team if they were within a certain range for me. It was my second item, I think. It was Lotus Flower or Lotus Crown, something like that. So that was cool. I didn't really notice it until I realized that a lot of people were not taking as much damage near me. So on the whole, I think the update is cool. The design looks beautiful. It's a lot different, but it looks very beautiful. You can tell whether you're on which side you're on. Because there's like burned trees now, and on the Chaos side, there's a huge volcano in the background, while on the Order side, there's a Mount Olympus, and you can literally looks like if you go in there, you're going to be going up towards upstairs to Mount Olympus, and same with the volcano. So that's really cool. And other than that, I think that's all I really have to say. That's just my first impressions on the Smite update. It looks like it's going to be a really fun update. It's a lot different than the original one, so you have to adjust your playstyle accordingly. Really got to watch the mana, especially if you normally get the mana buff. You're not going to be able to do that unless you're in the solo lane. And the Fire Giant's attacks are different, and but I didn't really know. It honestly didn't really seem like that. We took the Fire Giant really quickly, and didn't take that much damage because he doesn't raise lava pools. He raised small lava pits, and it was kind of easy to get out of, especially when you're not the one he's targeting. So that was cool. And yeah, and the gold, it's cool at the start animations. Fire Giant breaks out of his box as when the minions appear, and same with the Gold Fury flies in from above at the start of the game too. And whenever they respawn, that happens after they die. So that's cool. Like I said, they have this look-wise, it looks amazing. It looks really cool, and it does offer a lot more variation with a lot more different items you can pick, different customizations you can build. Again, I'm not much of an item person. Looking at it, it seemed like they took a lot of the older ones and just split them into two, which might, really, make you think about items, damage your playstyle, because now you're not getting a lot of the buffs. as that you did before in one item, and you have to buy 2 items for it if you want that same effect, which can be annoying because you only have a limited space and limited gold. So be ready for that. Other than that, just the bugs at the start were really annoying. Once I got into the game, there was no problems at all with lag or anything, which my computer normally has a problem with, so that was cool. And yeah, that's about it. So be careful. Hopefully they patch and fix the search mode, because that is really annoying when you're searching for a game for half an hour. Literally the amount of time it takes to play the game. And honestly, like, if I was gonna do this review before I'd even played a conquest match, if the match I was in hadn't gone through, because I was just pissed at that point. I mean, you have to have these things ready on launch day. They had been doing practice tests. They should have, accounted for a lot more people playing. Servers should have been, accounted for, and it just was glitchy and not good. Like I said, it froze on me a couple times, and I just have to wait there and for it to just go away, or I could become a deserter by leaving, and so I usually just stayed there. So yeah, be careful of that. And yeah, that was my impression. Overall, I think it's going to be good after they fix some of the bugs. You just have to rework your playstyle a little bit. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Connor of Jack3YT reporting out. Peace out, guys.